G'day guys, Josh here. At this point, we're just going to be speeding through the acts, and any of the side content will be shown on a different YouTube video. So we're back in Act 3. So what we're going to do first of all is that we're going to get Lost in Love by Tolman. So to get that, we need to get to the other side. Well, not to the other side, but geez, I'm not having a good day at the moment. We're going to get to the right side to go through there. So we're just going to run over there and get through it. So basically, welcome to Act 3. So Act 3, you're slowly but surely getting into towards the end game of this as well. You also get another thing here, the sewer grading, which will lead you to another quest a bit later on. However, you cannot do this quest because you don't have the sewer key yet. You get that a bit later. So I said this earlier as well, this is a random loot drop that I got. You're going to see some really significant upgrades, and you'll definitely want to start putting these on as well. Like you can see here, that this is not that great with energy shield department, but this one is very, very good in that department as well. You're going to see a lot of these upgrades, and I recommend that, you want to be switching away to these upgrades as quickly as you can. Now, that also goes against what I said last time, where I said, hey, you want to make sure it has the right sockets. This is the part where it's like, hey, this is like a bigger upgrade. If I get one of the correct sockets, great. If I don't, then just at least have like 2 to 3 sockets in particular where I can get what I need from it basically as well. Especially see here with the Storm Call and the obviously the Arc build here at the moment. Eventually you're going to get 6 links, but 4 links is going to be probably a max at the moment. So this one actually is very, very good in that regards here. So after a long time, we've found the Crematorium. So we're going to go in here to try and rescue Tolman. Now the waypoint is basically right away there. And basically it's kind of like the Catacombs. So with the Catacombs, it's just basically, or not the Catacombs, the lower prison, where it's just basically a dungeon full of undead and also necromancers as well. You need to also level up these things as well, so we can get a bit more damage, and also a bit more mana regen as well. You got to be very, very careful with Clarity as well, because Clarity will reduce your mana pool as well. Now also doors are the biggest enemy in this dungeon, but anyway. So we're going to go and try and find, we're trying to find the remaining areas to be done here. Also as well, remember there is a labyrinth in here as well. We're going to speed on to that labyrinth, as you can see with the levers and whatnot there. That is the labyrinth area, and we're going to go to that area very shortly. Now, welcome to the next labyrinth, so Trial of Ascendancy. So this trial is about the heat on the ground, okay? So basically what you're going to do is you're going to wait for the heat to go away a bit. So make sure it's like darkish, obviously dark color. And then basically kill it. That's pretty much it, okay? That is pretty much how you work this one. There are levers that open locked doors, but that's pretty much it. There's nothing too important with this labyrinth in particular. Now, I gotta say right now, the Act 3 mobs get a bit harder to deal with, so you gotta make sure you do it as well. There are some builds that can just straight up go on this lava and just basically pull through it. And unfortunately, we're not one of those builds, just an FYI. We're not playing the Rush Fire build. You can actually go on it and then blink to the other side. You got high fire resistance, so you can probably tank it as well. But like your health will go down while tanking it, so I do not recommend to do this. You can see there, my health went down quite a bit. If you got an energy shield, I suppose you can just tank it as well. So you can see that I'm just tanking it. Overall, it's pretty done very quickly. You get this done, and that's supported to get out. Now, next up, we're going to try to find Tolman. So we're going to clear through this dungeon until we find Tolman. There's no other quest you can get at this point. So normally, like how I did with Act 2, how we went to one side to get any quests. At this point in the act, you can't do any of that yet until you be able to enter the sewers. So that's pretty much why we haven't been able to do anything as of yet. Okay, guys, after constant accidentally hitting mobs with my wand instead of my arc, I just given up. Okay, I'm just going to put arc on my left click at this point, okay? It's been frustrating me to no end where I accidentally merely attack a mob instead of arcing it. And since arc does so much damage now, I can't avoid not to be casting it, or afford not to be casting it at this point. So, when you find Tolman, you get into a fight with Patey and a whole bunch of black guards, okay? Patey has lightning magic, okay? The lightning storm, as we call it. So you need to keep dodging the lightning storm, otherwise it'll do periodic damage to you. Which is, I can tell you right now, is fairly annoying. Now, it's very unlikely that you're going to be able to recover your energy shield for this fight, but if you do, it's like a huge boon, because basically she's going to be very, very annoying. She's eventually going to just teleport away, and you can rescue Tolman. Now, at this point, Tolman is basically dead, just an FYI. So yeah, at this point, we're back in town. So basically they say Tolman's dead, and you can get a lot of different things at this stage. Now, in particular, we did have in our build that we needed elemental weakness, I believe. I'm just trying to see if I can find it. No, we need, I believe, in Act 3, we need a conductivity, which is the lightning resist one. So basically at this point, you get hexes. So this is the fire hex, this is the lightning hex, this is the, I believe it's like the frostbite, the cold hex, and this is just all of them, okay? And then you get a whole bunch of other, like, weaknesses and stuff like that as well, and also some auras as well. Main thing what we want to do is we want to get conductivity and immediately put it into here. Now you also get a few other quests as well. At the same time, what you want to do with conductivity is that conductivity, I generally put, because it's another exposure skill as well, I don't want to put it on my right click, but I'll just put it on, I usually put it on W. So I think that's probably a better idea. Like, oh, maybe I should put it on my exposure things as well. So what this does in particular is just reduces their lightning resist, which is huge for this build because a lot of mobs can be lightning resist, and you need to be able to just deal with them as quick as you can.
Don't do anything I would.
Yes.
So now we're going to go to the other stuff as well, to Clarissa to hand in the quest.
I need to give you some.
So Clarissa will give you the sewer keys, okay, and you can go further on with it as well.
I walked halfway.
Now, basically, with Clarissa, I believe you can get stuff from her. So even though the shield is actually really, really good, the best thing is it just doesn't have the free sockets that we need, which means we may have to sell it. But alternatively, you can use a chromatic orb and hope this goes all to blue, which I'm going to say is quite unlikely. So most likely we are going to probably sell these, and also going to sell the neck that we used to have and the ring we used to have as it's a bit weaker. Alternatively as well, we could probably sell these as well because they don't have the sockets that we need, and also this is a bit better as well and does have the sockets that we need. So we're going to sell that as well. I was going to look at, keeping this, but at the same time that, I don't need 2 blue sockets, and also I got a few other sockets here as well. One thing I'm going to look at though is trying to replace these boots. Also as well, another thing as well, if you do sell one of these, if it's got blue, green, red linked, you get a chromatic orb. So now at this point, you will have 3 different missions to gather. One being the Phantom Platinum Busts when you go through the sewers. And also you get the Ebony Barracks and Solaris Temple to do through as well. Now, as you guys may realize as well, everything that you got rewarded from that previous quest will now be on Clarissa. But unfortunately at the moment that we don't need anything else off Clarissa currently as well. Now, one thing in particular as well in this act, which we probably won't get to today, is that there is a library, which has become very, very important a lot later. Now, one thing in particular that we're going to do is that we're going to go through this way to the slums again, because the sewer grate is closer than it is to the crematorium, and we don't want to take a long way to get to it. So as you can see, the sewer grating's very, very close, okay? Very, very close compared to the other thing as well. Now, be careful with your mana, because Conductivity and Wave of Thingo cost a lot of mana, and if you try to cast Arc afterwards as well as Flame Dash, you're going to run out of mana quite quickly. Now, in particular as well, it may come to the point where you may want to, not use the spells too much or get more mana regen, and it could come to that very, very quickly. And you can see here as well, need a bit more mana regen, so look at the mana pots for. So this is the sewers. You're going to have a quest coming up very, very shortly about the sewers that you're not going to be able to do anything about until later. Now, you need to do a few certain things that we're going to be doing really just bit by bit kind of thing. So the first thing we're going to encounter is that exclamation mark up there. And looks like we've gone the wrong way. So at this point, you're going to see these little stashes. And you're going to be wondering, what's the stash for? So the stash is for the Victaro quest. So the Victaro quest, you're going to find a bunch of exclamation marks. And they're stashes for these busts. I do recommend, after you finish this, to TP back and then TP back into the area. Or alternatively as well, if you get the waypoint, you got the waypoint. Now there's this undying blockage here. Kind of like Act 2, you get something later to deal with it. Don't worry about it for now. Now with the busts, you'll find these along the way when you're dealing with the general, okay? Like, you don't need to actively look for them. You'll find them bit by bit as you go along the sewers. So don't really frustrate yourself too much of finding the bus and like that. You'll find the bus relatively quickly. Now, as we go to level, Now, if you guys have been following the Poppins, correctly, we've decided to go down the left side, okay? So we've got the extra life points and stuff like that as well. We may have to go into the extra mana regen points as well, but I don't think we've gone into that yet. I say at this moment, we probably should go into Mystic Ball at this point, because we are actually having mana regen issues. So I'm just going to go into there. Alternatively as well, what I can do is use one of my refund points to refund one of these, but I don't think I'm going to do that at the moment. I'm just going to put my next 2 points into here, so I can get more mana regen basically as well, which is very, very important for me to spam Arc. So with the Undercity Hideout, if you don't have it, you can clean it up. And this is more of an RNG sort of thing. You do this with Helena initially for a hideout quest in Act 2. And that's how you create your own hideout. Now, I'm going to show you, see there, I have to use 2 arcs to kill it. Now, I'll use a conductivity, and you'll see how quick it takes to kill it. So, conductivity and hit him. You can see here, right away, that this guy is taking a lot more damage from the resistances being reduced. So, you can see here already that that guy's taking a lot more damage from it. He's taking, at least probably 10 to 20% more damage compared to me not cursing him. So curses, conductivity, and wave conviction and exposure, all of these are very, very important, especially against those rare mobs such as that. And also not to mention as well, we've unlocked the new hideout. Now, you guys may be thinking like, how do you not have that on your main? Hideouts are chances on happening on maps. So we got a bit unlucky here with the boss, but we finally found the boss. It was off the road. And now you can return the boss to Hagren. Now, with Hagren, as I said before, you're better off porting. But if you're close to the waypoint, you might as well use the waypoint as well. So I'm just going to basically port back out and just hand it to him. The reason why we're handing it to him, as you can see, the busts take 6 inventory spots. Okay? And you want to just give it back to him and get your reward, and you can go back up and keep going. And also, not to mention as well, you get a book of skill, which is very, very important because I want to get Mystic Ball as soon as possible. So now we're here. Now I really want to show you the difference, okay, between doing it normally or whatever. So you can see here, this guy is lightning and shock resistant, and I'm actually doing some damage to him, okay, which is shocking, okay. Excuse the pun. But look how much damage I do to him when he doesn't have the cursor. Not much, okay. Let's turn it on. You can see here, my Herald is doing a ton of damage now, and my crit, my crit is now doing double damage compared to what it did previously. Now we did get Idar on this map. Now we're trying to chase that exclamation mark down there. So that exclamation mark will lead to another quest. Okay, and like I say, we're taking the most roundabout route to it. Really roundabout. So what you want to be doing now is casting conductivity on these mobs to get as much as you can. Now the ornate chest will have the decanter in this, okay? And the decanter, you need to travel for the docks in regards to this as well. As you can see here, you can obviously focus on all of these. The Gemling Queen is down a bit further. The right hand is through General Grievous, and a Swig of Hope is to here. Now with the marketplace, you can go to 2 different sides of the area in Act 3. You need to go to both, okay? Because the last area you can only get to by by clearing up the blockage. You can't get through this act without not clearing out the blockage, which you get later in the act. So the Catacombs, I believe, is another area that we need to go into. Now, this, I believe, is a side mission area. There is a side mission here. There's also a Lord's Labyrinth here as well. I've got to say, we've been getting a lot of shock resist at the moment. We have to hex and stuff like that as well. I think that's my second one that I've encountered today. But yeah, like, good thing we got conductivity, okay? So we can reduce the resistance, which is really, really, really good. So finally, we found the next trial of Ascendancy. So we've only got 2 more to go at the moment. And this is what you call the Roombas, okay? I call these the Roombas because they're annoying to deal with and they look like Roombas, okay? Now, be aware with a lot of these fingers as well, you can use travel abilities to get across. Another thing as well to watch out for with your travel abilities if you want to get across as well, is you want to look out for a green thing, okay? There's going to be a green thing that you need to watch out for. And you want to dodge, you want to make sure that you're not in the green circle when you use your travel ability because you'll get damaged if you do. Now with the catacombs done, you just want to port out of here because you don't need to do anything else in the catacombs other than to get that area. There is a side quest for it later, and good thing you got everything for it, didn't you? Isn't that right? Got everything for it. So we're gonna sell everything that we got here. We did get a 4-linked hood, but that's not really good for us. We got a 4-linked also blue as well, which is not really good for us either. So we're just gonna basically sell this all out. We're gonna go back to the marketplace because that's where we were previously and go from there. And this is where we're gonna go to this area here in particular and start really proceeding with the Solaris side. Now we still got Ironheart's Beasts to complete here as well. You know, completing the other map. It's actually very rare to get 2 Ironheart Beast quests, but here we are. So we're just going to basically smash through these guys very, very quickly and get to the next area. So now finally we found the exit to get to the battlefront. Now, as you can see here, this is all like, let's just put it this way, okay? This is all going to be eventually to return to this area and return to the sewers as well. So you can see here that they've also told us, well, you can't go to here without unlocking this. Now we're moving along onto the battlefront. Now for the quests, there's a lot of quests here as well. You can go a lot of different directions, okay? Now the main things you want to go for is probably going for the Gemling Queen and also to sever the right hand as well. Now the Gemling Queen is on generally the side where you see a lot of Blackguard dudes coming from. Even though they pollute the whole map, you'll see like a difference when you're going to go to the Gemling side. So eventually you encounter ribbon warriors pretty much. But the way we're going to go is we're going to go to the docks. And the docks can be either direction basically as well. We are going to go to that Val area as well. So if you're going this way, you are most likely going to the Gemling area. So be aware of that as well. The docks has neither indication basically of which side you're going to go to. I would like to mention as well, we've got Val Stormcall, and we'll be definitely putting that onto our gear right away because Val Stormcall is actually quite good. So as I said before, we're still going to look for the docks. So with Flame Dash as well, be aware of Flame Dash, you can actually go up and down levels as well. So be aware of that as well. You can use some of your blink abilities to go up levels, like uphill or downhill. Now also as well, if you do want to finish the Gemling as well, you can go straight to Solaris right away. But I prefer going to the docks, because the docks will get my decanter done, and that'll get me another side quest done as well. And here is the docks. The docks is like the midway point between both. And I do want to finish the docks first. Now, the reason why you want to do the docks first of all, is that you're going to get a soul fight, which is going to lead you to another main quest, okay? Which is incredibly important. Now, also with the decanter, you're also going to remember Mr. Fairgraves, who tried to kill you previously.
Interested, are we? Oh, splendid. Will you?
So the next part is going to be traveling to the Imperial Gardens, and you can't travel to the Imperial Gardens yet because you need to do the Gemling Queen and Fiery Dust. So that's the main reason why we went to the docks first of all, is to get all of this done and to have the side quest ready and waiting. You don't get to go anywhere after the docks, just an FYI, okay? So pretty much you will wanting to just go back at this stage. The docks can also be very, very annoying as well with dodging things and stuff like that as well. They are actually quite frustrating. So that's what I might do as well, could do both. There's also another quest here as well, as you can see up there. And we're going to pick this one up while we wait. Now, what this is meant to do, so you're wondering, like, what are we doing here? So, what we are doing in particularly is that we are making sure that that we can create an explosive to get into the Imperial Garden. That is the main goal that we're doing here. And the thermite and all that stuff is going to help out with that. So that's why we went to the docks earlier to grab that, so we can all hand it in at once. Otherwise, you have to come back out here and just basically retrace your steps like 5-6 times, which we definitely do not want to do in this game. You want to try to get quickly through these acts as quick as you can to get to the end game, especially in a league setting as well. Because for the league setting in particular, you do want to get onto the end game pretty quickly, as even though the storyline is pretty fun, and if you do want to read it, you can read it, you do want to try and speed through it as quick as you can to try to get to the true end game and to try and get to better gear sets as well, because gear upgrades very quickly in the first 5 acts. So now we're in the Solaris Temple level 1. So this has 2 levels. I do not believe both of these levels have a waypoint. I know level 2 does. So I'm just gonna quickly apply a few things on as well as level up my gems. At this point with your blue gems, you can just level up willy-nilly because you're always gonna have enough int for it according to your build. However, for the other ones, you're gonna be very cautious. That's why I've been very cautious on leveling up precision and stuff like that, because I'm not sure what could pop up next. Anyway, we got to the Solaris waypoint pretty quickly. Getting a bit lucky with waypoints this time around recording. And I feel like this is where we're going to end the recording today. I'm going to be doing a short one. I don't want to do a super long one, just in case I go over time previously, where I had like a 17 to 18 minute video. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys see you guys in the next part where we're going to finish off potentially Act 3. Peace out. Bye.